congratulations. 8 members from the Brunel Karate Academy went to Dublin, Ireland. They went there for the World Karate Championships, and they kind of mopped up. They come back here with not just a couple, 17 medals. Gauthier had 3 gold medals, as did Matthew Smith. Some of their other medal winners included Grant Gauthier, Natasha Gombe, Steve Gombe, Trista Gombe, I'm not done with the Gombes yet, Lily Gombe, along with Kyle Sagan and Karina Boudram. What a great event.
My name is Grant Gauthier, and I'm a 2-time WKC World Karate Champion from Bell River, Ontario, Canada. At the 2016 WKC World Karate Championships in Dublin, Ireland, I won 2 gold medals and a bronze medal. The year after that, I actually wasn't able to try out for Team Canada, which means not being able to go to the World Championships because I had an obligation with school and I also had an injury with my wrist. This year, I'm moving up to the 18+ age division, which is the adult division, and trying to qualify for Team Canada again. In order to qualify for Team Canada, you need to go through 2 different steps. So first of all, there's a provincial qualifier, which of course is all the provinces have a tournament and you need to place top 8 at that tournament in order to be selected to go to nationals in Ottawa the following month. Now, this year is actually my first year of university, so that meant taking a lot of time off training and competing, which was really unfortunate. I think it was actually the longest break that I've ever had from competing. So actually leading up to provincials, I hadn't been to a tournament in almost 200 days. So I was expecting to be at least a little bit rusty. And since there was so much time that was taken away from training because of school, I knew that I needed to put in a ton of effort, and I made it kind of like a little, I believe it was like a 3-month camp for provincials, in which I spent literally every single day getting ready for provincials. Now, at provincials in London, I competed in 2 different divisions, musical weapons and creative weapons. So when I got to London, of course, like I said before, I was expecting to be at least a little bit rusty. Taking that much time off, it's kind of hard to not have at least a little bit of rust at a tournament. Really, no matter how much you practice in the dojo, it's completely different at a tournament because it's a different setting. You know, you need to have a different mindset because people are watching you. It's not like in the dojo you're by yourself or with people that watch you every day. So it's completely different. So I knew, despite the fact that no matter how much I trained, I needed to be, ready to adapt in that scenario and be able to kind of push through that rust and still do my best. So when I finished my musical kata, I was actually kind of thinking to myself, like, that really wasn't great. Like, I felt it was super rusty. It kind of felt a little bit slow, At some points in it, I thought I might drop the bow. Luckily, I pulled through. But overall, it really didn't feel that great after doing it. But it wasn't until later in the day that I actually watched the video of me competing. And to my surprise, it actually looked like one of the better performances that I've done, in my opinion. It wasn't as slow as it felt, and it wasn't as rusty as it felt. It actually looked probably, like I said, it was one of the faster katas that I've done at a tournament, which was surprising for me, despite the fact that a lot of the training that I've been doing recently is strength training. Now, the good thing about this is that despite the fact that I didn't really notice the things that I did good while competing, it actually helps that I notice the bad things because it helps in terms of constructive criticism for getting better for nationals or for any tournament in general. So right after I finished my kata, I knew right away what I needed to work on for both musical weapons and for creative weapons. So for musical weapons, honestly, for me, I think that I'm just going to stick with how it is. I'm not going to change the kata or anything, and I'm just going to continue with the strength training. But in terms of the creative kata, I think I definitely need to make some changes. When I'm doing my creative kata, it's a lot different than the last time I competed. There were a lot of changes that I made to it, and it's increased the length of it. So what I think I need to do is I need to actually shorten it. And the reason for that is because by the time I'm done my creative kata, I just have no energy left. So the thing with that is it's not necessarily bad, but if you think about it from a competition standpoint, if I'm doing my kata and 75% of it is 100% of my strength and energy and effort, but then the last 25% of the kata, I'm just tired, the part that the judges remember the most is the last part, so that's definitely not going to work in my favor if I'm tired at the end of the kata, because then that just decreases my chances of winning. So I'm definitely going to shorten that kata a little bit just so that I can go 100% the entire time. Like I said, the kata is a little bit longer than like the average kata length, so I'll probably just shorten it down to the average length and even still work on my conditioning, because you can still have like a super long kata, or not necessarily super long, but longer than average, and still go 100% as long as your conditioning is really good. My conditioning isn't the best, but I still think I should shorten it down just so I can go full strength the entire time. From about 10 to 15 years old, at tournaments before I competed, I had like this ritual of eating a chocolate energy bar before competing, which probably isn't like the best ritual to have considering the fact it's not the best kind of food. And I don't really know how that kind of caught on, but I guess just one time I ate it and then one with it, and for some reason I thought that I'd always have good luck with eating, chocolate before competing, and it kind of came like a thing. Like everybody would be like, "Oh, you're eating chocolate before you're competing," and just kind of like spiraled off from there. Now, I haven't done that in a while. Obviously, now at tournaments, I just eat whatever's available, like whatever I have, I'll bring and eat, and it typically isn't chocolate anymore. Nowadays at tournaments, I just kind of eat whatever. I don't really have like a specific thing I eat, but my diet definitely isn't the best. Now, I think diet can definitely make a significant change in my case. Now, before bigger tournaments and the day of big tournaments, I usually try to eat well, but even sometimes that doesn't happen. Like in Ireland in 2016, I probably had at least 3 or 4 milkshakes like before and after competing, so it was all mixed in there. So my choice of food before a World Championships wasn't the best. So that's definitely something I can improve on, but in general, like my diet, not just leading up to and during a tournament, but like in the process of training for the tournament as well, can definitely be better. And also kind of like relating to not having a good diet, the day before provincials, I had like a ton of Little Caesars pizza and donuts and stuff, so it's probably not the best choice, and I think my performances could definitely be better if I ate well. So I think for nationals, I should definitely get into a habit of actually eating well while training, before the tournament, and the days of the actual competition. But overall, I think it went pretty good, especially considering the fact that, like I said, I hadn't been to a tournament in almost 200 days. It was like 170 or something like that. So I think it went pretty well, and we're going to nationals.